breaking into a home, body camera footage lost, and brutalizing an innocent homeowner. It doesn't sound like protecting and serving to me, and this comes out of Elyria, Ohio. Check this out.
Controversial arrest caught on camera. Police barge into a man's home without his permission and without a warrant.
Tonight, that man is telling us what it was like to live through such a chaotic ordeal. 19 investigator Mike Mason has this exclusive report.
Put your hands behind your back right now. Right now.
Stop touching me. Raul Ortiz says he'll never be the same after 3 Elyria police officers stormed into his home.
One minute I'm happy, next minute I'm sad, next minute I'm crying. I hear a loud noise, I get freaked out.
19 Investigates obtained body cam video from May 11th of last year. That's when 3 officers met with Ortiz's ex-girlfriend, Brittany Warner. She told them she had broken up with Ortiz and he wouldn't let her back into the home.
I just want my things and I want to get out.
Officers arrive at the home, but Ortiz refuses to let them in without a warrant.
So all I did was say, hey, I don't choose to talk to you then. If I'm not in trouble with you and you ain't got a warrant for me, then I ain't got nothing to say. I'm not being involved.
Officer Paige Mitchell is then heard telling Warner
and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause ... of what? Probable cause that a crime has been committed. They have no idea if there's a crime that's been committed or not. So if they went to the judge to get a warrant, they would likely not even get it, but they don't care. They're going to go to the guy's house anyway, and they're going to instruct this woman who doesn't even live there anymore, according to the person who owns the house, and they're going to instruct her to kick in the door, and then they're going to help her in her criminal activity.
He has the right to break in.
Any door can be kicked in depending on how hard you work on it.
So Warner kicks the door in as officers go in behind.
Instructing an individual to commit a crime, and then when the individual commits the crime, i.e. kicks in the door, let's look at it again.
So
they videotape it with their government-issued, taxpayer-funded body cams. That's the world we live in. God.
Warner kicks the door in as officers go in behind her.
She was very aggressive.
Ortiz is heard struggling with the 2 officers. A window shatters. In the reports, police wrote Raul's body slammed into Officer Lewis, nearly causing him to fall out. However, Ortiz remembers it differently.
I actually grabbed the cop trying to pull him back, letting him know that I'm not trying to fight you guys, but I'm not going to put my hands behind my back because I have a medical condition.
Mitchell then walks up the stairs and tases Ortiz.
Put your hands behind your back right now. Right now.
Stop touching me.
This guy has a pacemaker. They don't care about your health. They don't care about your safety. They just want you to submit. Submit to the authority. You're under governmental control, boy. We don't care if it's in your house. This is our house now. We lay down the rules.
He
could have killed him.
Mitchell's taser, then drops it. He's then hauled off to jail.
Mom, please help me. I didn't know wrong.
Charged with multiple felonies, including aggravated robbery for grabbing Mitchell's taser.
Grabs the taser in self-defense, and they call it aggravated robbery when the act was committed, the criminal act was committed in that man's home by the perpetrators, who just so happened to be wearing costumes.
Were you planning to use it on the officers?
My defibrillators right here. No, absolutely not. I would never do something like that because I know I would never win.
They didn't do a proper investigation, period.
Ortiz's attorney, Anthony Nisi, worked as a cop for decades. He says officers had no right even entering the house. Plus, if they had contacted the homeowner, he would have told them Warner had already moved out.
That day, yes. She handed us the keys and she left.
And she was out of the apartment?
Out of the house, yes.
Nisi also questions officers' claims that Ortiz could be heard threatening them when they entered the home.
If you listen to the video very closely, it's different from what the report says.
Why would I want to say something like that knowing there's cops downstairs? That's the stupidest thing a person could do.
Ortiz potentially faced years in prison if convicted, but his attorney got the charges dropped. Now they both want to see these officers brought to justice.
So what gives them the power just because they got a badge is they can do whatever they want? Who's governing them? I want reprimand. I want officers put in jail. I want them to experience what I experienced.
Exactly, because brought to justice does not mean paid administrative leave. It doesn't mean losing your job. It doesn't even mean losing your certification. It means you get to go to jail like we would go to jail if we kicked in somebody's door.
You should know the officers involved were not charged with a crime or even disciplined for this incident. According to the EPD, the body cam footage we showed you is the only one they have because the other two officers' videos weren't saved due to an oversight.
They weren't saved due to an oversight. Anybody buying that?
He now plans to file a federal lawsuit against the department.
No disciplinary action for any of the cops breaking into an American's home on American soil in violation, direct violation of the Fourth Amendment. Here's another story on the same thing.
So if you want to kick the door in and go and get your stuff, you're more than welcome to.
Deadbolt lock.
Any door can be kicked in depending on how hard you work on it.
They had no right to even go up there and grab them and arrest them and cuff them.
Nope.
Now at 6, a controversial arrest caught on camera. Police barge into a man's home without his permission and without a warrant, which begs the question, did police cross the line here? Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
They walk into a man's house without permission and without a warrant, and it begs the question, did they do anything wrong? You've got to be kidding me. Why do we even have a Fourth Amendment? Hey, just break into anybody's house anytime you want for any kind of reason. You don't even need to come up with a reason. Just get 12 of your best armed dudes and break in the door and start shooting if you want to. Go ahead. Who cares? It's not America anymore.
I'm Brian Duffy.
And I'm Tiffany Tucker. This all started when an officer told the man's ex-girlfriend that she could kick down his door.
19 investigator Mike Mason has the exclusive body camera video. Watch it for yourself. You decide.
Get off of me. I'm downstairs.
Raul Ortiz is still reeling from the day Elyria police officers stormed into his home without a warrant. By the time it was over, he'd be tased, arrested, and charged with 5 felonies. 19 Investigates obtained this police body cam footage from May 11th of last year. It shows officers meeting up with Ortiz's ex-girlfriend, Brittany Warner. She moved out of Ortiz's home after they broke up. In the video, Warner tells officers she needs help getting back into the house to get some belongings because Ortiz wouldn't let her in.
We can go over and see if he'll cooperate and put us there.
Okay. I'll follow you guys over there, okay?
Okay.
When officers arrive at Ortiz's home, he refuses to let.
We can go over there to see if he'll cooperate. And if he doesn't cooperate, we get to put our gloves on. We get to get our tasers out. We get to kick in some doors.
Let them in.
Do you have a key to the house?
He took my key.
He took my key.
Officer Paige Mitchell then tells Warner she has the right to enter the home, even suggesting she kick in the door.
You've lived here, so if you want to kick the door in and go and get your stuff, you're more than welcome to.
Deadbolt lock.
Any door can be kicked in depending on how hard you work on it.
Officer Paige Mitchell. Officer Paige Mitchell should be in jail right now.
So Warner kicks the door in as officers Colty Hirsch and Chris Lewis follow her upstairs. Hirsch can be seen pulling out his gun.
Frickin'
Moments later,
believable.
Ortiz can be heard struggling with officers. A window shatters.
Put your hands behind your back right now. Right now.
Stop touching me.
Mitchell tases Ortiz as he tells officers about his heart condition. Trying to get them to stop, Ortiz grabs the taser and quickly drops it. Minutes later, things calm down.
I shot you, idiot.
Let's go now.
Ortiz's mother tries to.
He calls the homeowner an idiot as he stands in the homeowner's house after they let the lady kick down his door. God.
Intervene.
My son doesn't like me. Let him calm down, please. Come on.
as he's cuffed and taken away. Ortiz is then slapped with multiple charges, including assaulting a police officer and aggravated robbery for grabbing Mitchell's taser. His mother's also charged with obstruction for stepping in.
They had no right to even go up there
They arrested him and his mom.
and grab him and arrest him and cuff him.
Ortiz's attorney, Anthony Nisi, worked as a police officer for decades.
Why they did it, I can't answer that.
The EPD says video from the other 2 officers was never saved. So Nisi compared body cam footage with what officers wrote in their reports and says it didn't match up. Then he filed a motion to dismiss the charges, and the case was dropped.
Of course.
Now Nisi wants all 3 officers held accountable.
Yep.
Say to this person, go kick the door in. We can't. What were you thinking? They broke the law.
These officers were not charged with the crime, and their union rep is standing behind them. Illyria's police chief...
Their union rep is standing behind them because the union rep is as corrupt as they are.
will only say the body cam footage from the other 2 officers wasn't saved due to an oversight. The officers' personnel files show they were not disciplined for this incident. Tomorrow...
Oops, we have a little oversight. So what I will do is, under this video in the description and in the pinned comment, I will put a link to the Illyria Police Department over there in Ohio. It looks like people are already commenting. This one right here says erasing comments is illegal. It looks like they are erasing comments, by the way. This person says breaking, entering, assault, and kidnapping of citizens seems to be your thing. Remember when you threw a flashbang into a baby's crib? You all are something else. Yeah, well, what they are is criminal. I will leave that link in the description in the pinned comment. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support the channel further, grab a shirt, become a channel member, but more importantly, know what your rights are and exercise your rights. If we don't exercise our rights, we will lose them. I will see you in the next video.